Yes, we're back. It's Thursday, and we have the green room here, and we have always Barry, Duncan, Kelly, and Andy. How are you guys doing today? Are we happy, partying, or what?
We're always happy because happy's
here. Yeah. So, how has this week been going? Who wants to go? Barry, you want to go first?
I'm sure you pick on me. You always make me go first. No, week's not been too bad. A little bit of a rocky start at the start of the week, but hey, we're here. We're still standing, and we're playing games. We're talking games, and we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I heard you have some days off holiday. Isn't it that in England or something like that?
Yeah. We had a bank holiday on Monday, and then I snuck a cheeky extra day on the end just so I could have a full day weekend.
Nice. That's smart, actually. Andy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Good. How are you guys? I'm
good. I'm good. Are you
good?
Good. Duncan, how are you?
Awful,
yeah. Kelly, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good. That's good. So, well, I have had a really strange week. I thought it was Monday, but it was actually a Wednesday. So I've been starting there already. But what kind of games have you been playing this week?
What's wrong with Duncan already? He's gone.
Yeah.
You okay, Duncan?
Yes, I'm okay.
What have you been playing? Well, I think I have to ask Duncan first. What have you been playing?
On Xbox, I have been playing some Sea of Thieves, just a little bit of Sea of Thieves, and we did a wee play along of that. Absolutely loads of fun. Getting the instruments of the band going, especially Sammy seemed to enjoy that. I was trying to attack the giant shark.
That's I know.
How did that go, Kelly?
How many times did you get flung off the boat?
I don't know.
How many times did I have to float?
Well, I lost count. And I also did some messing about in Assassin's Creed. You're going, why was I... it was Assassin's Creed. I always get the names. It's either Brotherhood or what's the other one?
There's a few of them.
Is it that in England?
No, no, it's the third one in the Ezio collection.
The pirates thing?
It's not Brotherhood, is it?
No.
I jumped
Black
into
Sail?
that.
No, not Black Sail is another one.
I jumped into that for reasons we may touch on later. I was having a look at the FPS boost and what a difference that actually made to it. It is, again, when they add in the extra FPS, it makes it really into a different game. Revelations, thank you, Lee. And yes, I've got the PlayStation behind me as well here, the PlayStation 5. So your trolling's not going to work there.
That's my PlayStation 5, not yours.
Oh yes, mine's somewhere else. But Assassin's Creed Revelations with the FPS boost, absolutely amazing, and it's got me hooked into what I am wanting to complete the rest of them.
Nice. Okay. Andy, what have you been playing?
I actually played a bit of Sea of Thieves.
I
didn't die. And the boat didn't sink. The boat didn't sink, but nothing really happened. And I felt as though I wasn't really doing a very good job, even though the boat didn't sink, which was the last time I played it, it got bombed every 5 seconds. So I don't know whether I was on a quiet session or what. I don't know, but it was surprisingly no. I didn't die, but I did. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing, and I tried watching some videos to figure out what to do, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. So
it's a strange game, but
I feel like I need your guys' help to actually understand. I managed to fill the cans. And thingy them, shoot them. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. But they just went in the water. They didn't really do anything. I don't know what I'm doing on it. I played that and I played some Rocket League.
Oh, nice. Rocket League is really fun.
Well, I have Barry to thank for that, getting me back in.
Okay, cool,
Me?
Barry.
Yeah, I stopped playing it for a couple of about a month, and then we played the play along on
Yeah.
was it Sunday? Was it Sunday?
No, it was a week ago. Last Tuesday, it was.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
and I've been playing it ever since. So
That's cool. Kelly, what have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing Fortnite
Yeah,
and
nice.
Duncan Fortnite. Still trying to get. I have leveled my one up to 101, so now I have to get Duncan leveled up because Duncan doesn't play it. What's the point of having a battle pass if you don't level up?
yeah,
So
that is
exactly.
great.
So I have to level him up.
It gives you a challenge to do something on it.
And I've been playing Sea of Thieves, and Duncan made our boat sink last night because like some man comes with his boat, crashes into us, and then he says sorry, and Duncan goes, no, he's okay. He's like, we dude. No, this wee dude decides to bomb our boat.
No, because he stole one of our mermaid diamond things, and we went, or emeralds. So I went, is that right? So I hid at the bottom of his boat, waiting for him to come back in. And when he came back into his boat, I just jumped out and started stabbing him with the sword. And I think that's it, done and dusted. No, he goes and bombs the boat. He flipping cannons it and blows it all up.
That was one thing I actually did on Sea of Thieves. You can get in the cannon, can't you?
Yeah.
And it shoots you off onto the island of some sort. The first time I did it, the guy had already loaded the cannon with a cannonball. But he killed me.
Nice. Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's a really fun game. Barry, have you been playing something?
Yes, I've been playing a few things. Obviously, as Duncan touched on earlier, I had my first outing in Sea of Thieves this week. Did
you like it?
I loved it. I had such a great experience. You know what? I needed a laugh, and I had so much fun playing that on Tuesday under obviously Duncan and Kelly's guidance. They kept me right. I only died twice, I think, maybe. We crashed the boat twice, I think, but we patched it up. We got rid of the water. We were all right. We weren't too bad, and we figured out our compass bearings along the way as well. So that was good. In terms of other stuff that I've been playing. Again, another one of Kelly's favorites. I actually jumped into Halo. I've never played Halo. Yes. I jumped into the first installment in Halo to start playing my way through that, which was good. I did some more It Takes Two. So I'm coming towards the end of that now. I think I've only got like a chapter and a half, 2 chapters left. Absolutely brilliant story. Really enjoyed it. And then the other one that I picked up at the end of last week and across the weekend, and I'm going to say it's one of those games that if you might not think about it, it's kind of one of those sleeper games, I think. Tell Me Why. It is included on Gamepass.
That's really good.
Absolutely brilliant. I played the first chapter. I kind of played about 10-15 minutes on at the back end of the evening, and then I was like, I'm tired, I'm going to go bed. But I was hooked, and then I literally got up at the weekend, played straight into it, and completed the first chapter. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm so gripped by this story. I was invested in the characters. It was brilliant. Yeah. Really enjoyed it.
It's a really, really good game. Well, I've been playing a little bit myself. I've been playing Sea of Thieves. I need to start playing with you guys also sometimes because I'm alone in my boat and I have to do everything on my own. No, I've been having a lot of fun with that game. I've been hunting for treasures, but every time I think I take up the sail, I take down the sail, and I crash into the island. So I have to patch up my boat every single time. And I turn the sail the other way, and it's hopeless for me to do everything on my own. But I manage. I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing a little bit. What was it? Yes, guys, I forgot. I actually got the XCloud on web browser, so I'm happy for that. I don't know how long I have had it. I probably had it for a couple of weeks. but I never got an email of it, so I didn't go in. I just go in, I check out if I had it, and it's like, are you ready to play? Oh yes. So that was really fun, and I did something today. I've been really enjoying XCloud. You can customize your touch controller. I really enjoying that. And today I got into my worst place in the house with Wi-Fi, and I played the Minecraft dungeon, and it ran great. And I was like, wow, okay. And I had so poor connection, and it still worked. I did not get any disconnection from it. So I just tested it out, and it ran great. And I think that is it. It's not that really. You don't need that much power probably behind it still on these sorts of games with touchscreen games. And I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. So I think if I go sitting someplace, I can just take this with me and go through some games and just don't have everything. So it's just easy to pick up a game and just play for 15 minutes. I'm impressed, actually. And when G5 comes, that's going to be amazing. So I really enjoy this touch controller on Xbox because you can customize them and you can take them away from the screen. Some have this already there and you can't change it on the controller, but Xbox have made it that you can change it wherever you want on the screen. So I really, really like that one. I've been playing this Dinosaur Extinction. I still scream sometimes in that game. A really, really fun game. Really, really fun. But I did what you said, Barry, go through the learning curve. There was a lot to learn.
You feel a little bit more prepared after, don't you?
Yeah, I did. It was really, really strange going straight in. Didn't know anything about the game, just jumped in and streamed it a little bit, and I was a little shocked there. So yeah, I've been having a blast, and I tested out before I tested it out on this tablet. I tested out the GTA 5. It didn't run that well on on the tablet, but when I got the web browser, it was just like night and day. Everything is running great, and there is something that I find really, really interesting. I never get disconnected, even if I get a lower graphic or it falls in a little bit. I never get disconnected.
How does that compare with your? Obviously, I know we're obviously here to cover the Xbox angle, but how does that compare to your kind of cloud gaming experience in kind of in the main?
I haven't. On the other one, I tested GFN. I got before. Now it's so much better for me. But I got disconnected and it just fell out. Now it's so much better when I played it. I have not had that issue with Stadia because Stadia is just getting better also there. But if I had got that low graphic like I had today, it would have just turned off. But the Xbox just keep you in the game. It just wait until you are okay again. But it now on the web browser, I don't feel that much of it. Some little bit. Sometimes it just dip a little bit, and it's off again. And it's like in milliseconds. So I really, really had a lot of fun with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's really
and I
odd
played. Huh?
It's really odd how you can have a completely different experience with all of the different platforms.
Yeah.
Because I've had similar issues. I mean, I don't really want to talk about the other ones at the moment because we're doing the Xbox, but I've had issues where it won't connect, or it'll lag, or it'll do just strange stuff on one, and then you move to the other one and it's fine, and it's really, really odd.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are going to have that experience, and this is the problem with cloud gaming. Until that's fixed, it's really difficult to say this is going to work for you, because it doesn't necessarily mean it is going to work. One might work for you, one might not. So,
And that's
Yes.
it's a really good point to keep in mind, because how many times have we seen that, particularly in cloud gaming, where people have said, it's not for me, it doesn't really work. And then other people have said, oh no, that service is brilliant, this service is brilliant. And I think it is worth keeping at the kind of the forefront of mind is everybody does have those different experiences, which in turn sometimes helps you formulate your own opinion.
I had a really strange thing also with that, because before I had this lower and I had great fiber optic internet, but I boosted my package on that, and straight over just a little bit like that, it went much better. And it said, I'm not going to talk about it, but when I started playing in the cloud was with Stadia. And I had perfect experience, but sometimes I had issues. But when I boosted my internet agreement, it went almost gone. So
good.
Well, for me, since I've got access to it now, I've tried it through the three platforms, which I think everybody knows I play on, in GFN, Stadia, and XCloud. And I'm not saying XCloud is the best servers, best whatevers. However, there's always a but or a however. From a we're not talking about the P's and the Q's and how great it looks and stuff like that. I'm just talking from a playability perspective, and XCloud has came out on top for me. Doesn't load fast enough. It's not the Series X stuff, but from a pure just cloud gaming perspective where you can just jump in and play, I've had the least issues over the last week with XCloud over GFN and Stadia. It is basically GFN and XCloud are neck and neck, and Stadia is slightly down there. This is just from, does it drop out? Is there stutters? Is there anything like that? That is what has surprised me the most, because coming into XCloud, I was expecting it to be absolute garbage, but just before what has been out there, but I am actually being pleasantly surprised. But because it's cloud gaming, it will change from minute by minute, hour by hour, and these could completely change again. But for the last week or so, XCloud has been running best as a cloud gaming service, not the best graphics, just you know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to word this the right way. I'm not saying it looks the best or anything like that, but it was playing the best without any drops.
Great. Well, I also talked with a couple of days ago with some of my neighbors, because we had also the same internet, and they have had issues with the internet go up and down, like really big issues. They haven't played on cloud gaming, but they've been playing and watching TV on the internet, and they've had issues. I haven't watched so much TV, but XCloud, I haven't had any issue with it in a way. Even if probably, I don't know, I haven't checked it. Probably there's issues with my Wi-Fi someplace or the cable internet, but it runs great and it's really stable. I'm really surprised over that. So
I've got a question for Callie.
Oh no! Don't be horrible.
I did not hear that.
I don't know.
How does XCloud run for you?
Oh, it runs brilliantly. So it does. I just go into my wee PC and I just play it on the PC.
Okay, that's good. Guys, I also deleted all my Xbox Gamepass from my PC. I just played them on the web browser now. It's so good. I don't mind playing it on native anymore on my PC. It's so good. I'm really impressed. Even on my Wi-Fi connection, it runs really well.
The thing is, it's only going to get better.
It is, and we still haven't had any. I don't know. I haven't no inside information, but we're probably getting some upgrades, server upgrades sometimes soon. I hope, but something in the testing, I guess. Some rumors, but I'm not I don't have proof of that, but I believe they have. So yeah, are we going to talk about have Microsoft want to put XCloud on other consoles? Is that something we can talk about? What do you guys think about that?
Duncan's shaking his head. He's out.
Go on, Duncan.
No, I let everybody else speak because I speak too much.
Andy, that's it.
Okay, so there was a tweet out, wasn't there, about it was done by Benji Sales. I want to say, I don't know if we can put that up on screen or not, but basically,
I can't do it from here. I have issues with the right now here, so
I don't know. Can I? I don't want to share a screen and then it be 1 second.
yeah, I have some issues with my sides of because I don't have the two screens in front of me here, so it would be just a mess for me to do it right now.
Okay. I hope that has that's not showing something that it shouldn't be showing. And let's zoom in. Okay. So this was the tweet that had been put out by this Benji Sales. Basically, it's to do with the is it the court battle that's going on between
Epic and Apple?
Epic and Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Basically saying that it looks like they're not giving up on actually putting XCloud onto other consoles. Now, obviously, these are all confidential documents that have been not so much confidentially leaked. And I found it interesting. I don't know what the rest of you guys think, but I can see it. I can see it quite easily going onto the Switch, because it would make sense for both, really, to have it. You know, the Switch isn't the powerful beast of of the cloud gaming world that it could be. They've got a couple of different cloud games on there, so they've been testing the waters, haven't they? With Control, I think was a cloud game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one, but I think they'd done one about 6 months before that as well, if I remember rightly. There's been a few different tests when it comes to cloud. I could see it happening. I really could. It's all about money, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Hasn't Microsoft and Nintendo has some sort of deal of that also with the cloud thing? I think I heard something back a couple of years ago about that. They were gonna do the same as Sony, but yeah.
At the moment, it's all just guesswork, isn't it?
But yeah,
it is.
But I think it shows the ambition. Clearly, the thought process is there. You know, the desire and want to kind of put it on, you know, in other places. It's not gone away, and clearly, you know, that sort of seems to indicate they've not given up on the idea. I think for me, I would agree with you, Andy. The Switch is the likely candidate, isn't it? If you were to look at any other platform or any of the platforms available, Switch is the one that you'd say, bang on. That's the one that you could see it actually tangibly happening on.
And there's also Switch has been selling 84 million Switches until now. So that's a lot of more. If they get it on that, that's going to be a big boost in numbers to want to have XCloud. I strongly believe. And I think Nintendo is a different company now than the older company. They're more younger people in that company. They're thinking new ways to go, and it's not like only console. I think they're open for different stuff. They're a more open company now to more options. And we see this partnership with Microsoft. I think they're gonna do stuff like that. So that's what I think about that. Duncan, you have something with this?
I think the Switch is the most likely one, and we'll keep on seeing the Switch in the background of Big Phil's conference calls and whatnot. So there's some nuts. If this is our big talking point for what's
sorry.
That could have been bad.
Oh, no, it's planned for the next topic.
Okay. If XCloud goes on to the Switch, I think that is going to be bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. It makes sense on paper. It's will Nintendo allow it? And Nintendo is Nintendo. You just don't know what they're going to do. They are absolutely brilliant and absolute nutters at the same time, because the all you have to mention is the Nintendo friend codes and people's will just go, oh yes. But I would love to see it there. And we do know Microsoft and Nintendo have got a good working relationship, just with prior things. I wouldn't rule it 100% in, I wouldn't rule it 100% out, but I think there's something there. It's just so much, there's a lot of smoke.
I'm going to ask something, and this is a little bit out there, but we always talk about Microsoft putting stuff onto Nintendo. What if Nintendo wants to put things inside the XCloud to get more view on their games in the future? No? Not a chance? Not going to happen?
Not a mission.
I don't think it's going to happen, but we never know, but it's probably not going to happen.
No, I agree with Duncan. They know what they know exclusives matter.
Yeah.
They really do.
I mean, 85 million Switches. They don't need to.
No.
And why have they sold that many?
84
because
million
of exclusives.
Yeah.
For no other reason. I mean, you only have to look at the list of games that are the top 100 games or whatever, and the Switch has got so many in there as it is. Like the top 20 is like half the Switch games. You know, like it's insane. So,
well, we can see that probably Smash gonna get a Halo figure. Looks like that in all these cartoons they are painting up, but it's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, Barry, you have something to add to this?
I mean, I think it's I think the guys have said everything there is to say. Really, if it's going to happen, it's going to be Nintendo, isn't it? Let's be honest. But and I think coming back to Duncan, when Duncan was saying, the way that Nintendo are, and I will use one of Duncan's phrases, it's the kind of up the left thing that they would do,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be things are going to change in the gaming market, and deals going all sorts of places. And I will never see, I don't think we will see anything on Sony, XCloud on Sony, but yeah. So anyone wants to say something more about this?
Hello, Callie.
Hey, Kelly, you want to say something about this, Kelly, about the Nintendo?
The only thing I would say, I would have to get a new Nintendo Switch and hide it. But one good thing I like about Nintendo is their memory cards. You can just pick up a wee memory card instead of having to go and buy like the dearest memory card that's in the planet to extend your memory.
I also need a new Switch because my Switch been shared with all the kids, and it's just some sort open there and something broken there, and it's just, and now it's just in the box there to just play. I can't use the control of these Joy-Cons either. They are just, so I'm glad that I had the Pro controller. So
WD-40 sorts that out.
Huh?
Just so you know.
What?
Bit of spray WD-40 in the underneath the Joy-Con.
Oh
lip.
yeah, you're right.
That fixes your
okay.
Your drift.
Okay, I'll try that tomorrow.
I've got a video on it. It's got like 14 views.
So go check out that video, guys.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Stalker 2 is coming to Gamepass day one. That is actually a good. That's going to be a really good game, I think. So, anyone, Andy, you want to start?
I don't know much about this game, but I saw the tweet the other day that it's a brand new game that is coming day and date to Game Pass and on PC as well as Xbox Series X and S. I don't know much about it, but I thought it was an interesting topic, and I'm assuming Duncan probably knows quite a bit about these games because he plays everything. I've watched the video; it looks good.
The interesting thing about the Stalker thing, Stalker is like a big PC franchise. It hasn't really done too well on consoles. If it has even came to consoles, I'm not sure if it has. So this is a big step for them coming to consoles. Again, there's a bit of talk. I think why this Stalker thing kicked off again is there because of the Apple and Epic case. I think it came out that or something else that Stalker is going to have a 3 months exclusivity period on Xbox. I think it's going to be longer. I think it's going to be at least 6 months to a year. 3 months to me sounds a bit short.
Yeah,
with the amount of time they've been spending on this game. I think it's a game you either love or you will hate. And I haven't really played them that much, but I do know that they are big on the PC.
Yeah, I tried it many years ago, the other one, but I don't remember anything from it. I remember some monster in it or something. It looks a little bit like Metro. Am I wrong about that?
I haven't had too much of it.
I can see where you're going with that kind of thought process, I guess, because obviously I think with its setting being in Pripyat, it kind of obviously lends itself to that kind of feel, doesn't it? Then obviously that kind of open world experience. And I think I'm sure earlier this week that I'd read that like it's been like over a decade since this game was announced.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you just think, the fact that it's now got to this point where it's coming out, you think, wow, that's like.
Is this a third-person shooter or is it first-person shooter? First person.
First person.
Okay. So this is a game for you, Kelly.
No, I've never heard of it.
It will be there.
You can shoot things in the head.
Okay, I'll have to have a try it out, but I've never heard of it.
It looks really, really interesting. Can we think this is a game that is an indie company, isn't it? They're making it. It's not a big company, is it? Or am I totally off here?
I think it is an indie sort of title, but it's one of these greater sort of indie titles. I wouldn't really. It's one of them into the mix because I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of indie stuff again because technically now Destiny 2 is an indie game. I think when people think of indie game, they're thinking more lower budget, and that's where this sort of word gets all murky and stuff. It will have a fairly substantial budget. This game, it's a slightly slower paced game. It is not a go right and just. Shooting again, and my mic's doing my thing again, so I will have a look.
No, it's good now, I think.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Gone a bit quiet.
Okay.
It's a bit quiet.
Bit quiet for Duncan.
No, I was just thinking, can this be a
I've done a Duncan. I just tried to talk to you all on mute.
Excellent.
No, what I was thinking about, is this a company that Microsoft will look into buying? Do you think? Is this a company do they want to get bought or we don't know that, but
I don't think so. I think it's the Polish company from Dying Light 2. They've got their eyes on more. Again, every company out there is open for Microsoft buying them, more or less, within reason. I don't think you can really rule anybody out depending how big they want to open up their wallets.
Yeah.
And they've basically shown that with the Bethesda deal. So I don't think anything's on the table. Anything's on the table, but it's just going to be an exciting time.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. I really look forward. This is a game that is set coming out this year. Do we think it's going to be delayed because of how the situation around everything is going? Do you think there's so it has been talked about this game for many years, so they're probably set going this year, or do you think they're just going to be polishing this game more and more before?
I think it'll be this year.
Yeah. Isn't me that's so high, Mike? Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure. There's an element of me that kind of you think that if they're potentially talking about it coming to Game Pass for an exclusive period, you'd kind of think that maybe it could be this year. But I don't know. I think there's definitely a lot of slippage going on with games at the moment, so it may well be something that the kind of news of it kind of coming as we were talking about earlier with the the Epic and Apple trial. It's probably something that's almost kind of forced the hand. They maybe weren't quite ready to talk about it. So for me, when you're kind of in that situation, that ballpark, it kind of makes you feel like it could be a candidate for an early 2022 launch.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're in for making this a perfect detailed game, and if they're not ready, they're not ready. And I think it's gonna be next year also. But right now it says this year, but I bet it's gonna be next year. So another thing that happened this week, Minecraft Dungeon get cloud saved out, and it's out now. So that's really, really great thing. I really enjoy playing Minecraft Dungeon. It's such a great game, guys. And if you're gonna play it, try it on touchscreen, because that is such a fun way to play that game. So go try that, because it's a total different experience to play it with touch control. It sounds a little bit like it sounds weird to play with touch controller, but it's actually really, really great to do that with that game. We also got 74 new games that got FPS boost. And I looked through the list, and there's a lot of great games there. So Microsoft is just killing it with this FPS boost. What do you guys think about this? This is just exciting, isn't it? Who wants to go?
Go for it. Go on.
I think it's insane, really. You think about the amount of games that they're actually doing. It's 74 games, and this is now boosts up to 97. Does it? I think, if I remember
97,
rightly.
yeah.
Which again, like, they're basically making 97 old games like new.
Yep.
And you can't ask for more, really. I still think a lot of these games are going to be cloud games, so it makes sense to boost them up, because then they're ready to be going onto the cloud and having the higher FPS that you need to have that. What did Stadia call it? The negative latency kind of thing, where you drop the FPS visually for the stream, but on the actual computer it's running on, it runs at twice the FPS. So it makes sense to boost them all now and get them all ready, and it'll be when we do launch with the Series X blades. We will notice a massive difference on the older games as well as the current games. It's a win-win. Yeah, I know Duncan has raved about some of the games he's played on the FPS boost. Is it Assassin's Creed you were talking about earlier, Duncan?
Yes, Assassin's Creed. It just makes it feel so fresh, and it's nearly like a remaster because it just boosts it. I'm going to be doing a blitz in these because I want to go through them all again, and added in the 60 FPS is just absolutely ridiculous. I was raving about it, and it was just mad. Also, I checked out 2 Point Hospital, believe it or not, I don't think. Normally, you talk about it makes a difference, a positive difference. I'm not sure if it actually makes a positive difference in 2 Point Hospital. I think it just feels a bit off now.
Okay.
Because of the way it's been set up for the controller. I think there may need to be a wee tweak here and there with it.
Okay.
They would also say that with Assassin's Creed, because of the map, it's just overly sensitive now. So yes, the FPS boost has helped for the actual gameplay, but actually zooming in and out in the map, it's overly sensitive now. I know this sounds absolutely nuts, making fun of the 60 FPS, but there is some quirks you may need to get used to. But overall, like 99.9% of it, you won't notice any of these bad sort of things. Like Assassin's Creed, just the gameplay and everything, it just takes it up to the next level.
Have you felt anything with that, Kelly, with the FPS boost? Do you feel it's better to play the games, or is it?
Well, for somebody that just plays the games and doesn't notice any difference, Duncan was playing Assassin's Creed the other day and he was going, it's boosted up, and I was looking at him going, I don't see any difference. And he's handing me the controller and going, like, say less, like, what do you think? And I'm going, yeah, it really is good.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, it's I actually can see a little bit different. It is like 60 FPS from 30 FPS. It's a totally different game sometimes. But it, like Duncan said, it comes down to the game. Some games doesn't probably work that well with the boosted in a way. But most games probably is best.
No, what I'm just trying to word this slightly better. The FPS boost in the games is absolutely brilliant, and it should not be mistaken. What I think some of the games have been programmed for the 30 FPS, and it's sometimes noticeable that it's slightly out from kilter. Some of the things in 2 Point Hospital, it just doesn't feel 100%. When you go into the Assassin's Creed map, when you zoom in and out, sometimes you zoom out too far and you jump into the full thing, but because you're in the FPS, it's going 60 instead of the 30, it just jumps out too much. Again, these are just very, very nitpicky, but the overall experience with them being boosted to 60 FPS is brilliant.
That's good. Yeah, you're right about that. Barry, do you want to add something with this?
I mean, I think when we've spoken about XPS boost in the past, it's kind of taking games up to what became the level of, I want my game to run 60 FPS. It's now taking it up to the base, and then what we're seeing with boost is in a lot of a lot of instances, it's then kind of giving you the ability to kind of double and kind of go beyond that. And I think feeding into obviously stuff that, that Andy said, stuff that we've spoken about in other weeks previous as well. It is, almost preparing for the cloud. As we all know, when we are playing cloud, you notice 30 FPS in comparison to 60. So if you can kind of get that transition right, get it ready to jump, then you are in the best possible place. And I mean, who doesn't want the best possible experience from your games library? Whether regardless of where you're playing, you want to be able to have the best experience in terms of kind of, you want the games to look great, you want the colors to be good, you want it to be smooth, you want to feel everything from that within the game. And to me, that's what they're doing. They're in a period now where they're taking something that's exceptionally good and they're just polishing it.
And I agree. And I want to say something also. Xbox, in a way, they take care of your babies, in a way, your games, and they just make them even better for the next generation. And I think this is just going to go on and on and on. And you can, like you play now the 360 games on XCloud, and it's some people can even go back and play their old save from the 360 times. Like they're taking care of your save files even. So this is a really, really exciting times, and I really enjoy. I'm really glad that they boosted up the The Battlefield gains the 120 FPS. That is really, really cool. And yeah, so there is also something with IO Interactive. They're making something RPG, Project Dragon. This is the talk around. They're doing something there. They're also making a James Bond game, if I'm not mistaken. So they have a lot of stuff on their hand. And let's talk about this RPG game from Project Dragon. We don't know what kind of RPG. They're saying it's probably something with dragons, but what do you guys think it is? Duncan, you want to start that?
I think it's a game about chickens.
Chickens, yeah.
Yes, I think it's always good to hear that there's more games coming. It sounds like it's an exclusive. We may find out about E3 time, so that would be cool if we do. But I don't think there's much we can go on. It's like it's a complete and other step in a completely and utterly direction for IO Interactive. But yes, we know they're working on James Bond, but that's still sort of Hitman-y, sort of. It's similar. This seems to be completely another out of their comfort zone.
It will be really interesting to see. Barry, you were shocked to hear about this, or was you still a little bit surprised?
I think you are always kind of, when you see developers go in a different direction, you can be shocked when you come out and hear that they're maybe doing something a little bit different. But hey, if it's going to be something that's exclusive, it could well be something that comes to Game Pass. Again, as we've spoken about in the past, Game Pass does give developers the ability to kind of do this. They can kind of push the limits a little. So, in that respect, have they managed to get themselves in a position where they've got a deal for something to come to Game Pass, and they've got a little bit of poetic license to kind of go and have a bit of freedom, be creative, and kind of do something a bit different? It seems very obvious to me, but I'm going to say that maybe Project Dragon's a red herring. Because I don't, I tend to say that I really don't think that developers tend to work with project names that kind of so openly reveal exactly what they're working on, especially when that stuff that they are taking time to create and to craft is important to them, and they don't want to showcase it. They don't want to talk about it until they're ready.
Yeah, Andy.
Dragons. You see, the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, is like something like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones, but they're both Warner Brothers games, aren't they? So I can't. Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of apart from Spyro.
Do you think it's going to be Hitman with dragons?
I think it's going to be dragons that shoot people. Yeah, in the head. That's
what Kelly wants.
They have scopes attached to their head. They're
going on a mission.
Barry might be onto something there. It might be a good side step to not let people know what they're actually working on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, Kelly, do you think it's going to be dragons shooting from the head?
We'll go with a battle royale with dragons, and you just go around eating everybody.
That would actually be really fun.
I mean,
I'm up for that.
It's going to be really, really exciting to see.
Speaking of that, we do know that there is a game going to Game Pass. A battle royale going to Game Pass on the 1st of June. It was announced.
Is that the animal one?
The Animal Royale, Battle Royale.
What is that? Animal Royale. I heard of it.
What's the proper title? You know how I am with remembering all these different names. What was it called? I will find it here in a second. Oh no, I'm just so stupid. What was it? Animal.
Super Animal Royale.
Super Animal Royale.
Yeah.
Yes. It's going to Game Pass. 1st of June. It's going to other platforms later this year, including Stadia, which is great. And it's going to have cross-platform multiplayer, cross-platform cross-progression, and everything under the sun. It's a free-to-play game, but on Game Pass, you get the Founders Edition. So that is speaking of Battle
interesting.
Royale.
There's a bit of a logo gate going on with the Animal Royale coming to consoles soon.
I need to check that guy thing out.
It is 100% going to Stadia. It's in the press
Okay.
release, but it
Just doesn't have on the logo.
And yeah, it's no logo, but it is going to Stadia.
Oh, poor Stadia.
So there's also a game, but it is a little bit far off, maybe a couple of years down the road. But In Exile, it's probably making a first-person shooter, next generation RPG for Microsoft, and we can all discuss what game or what type of game this is going to be. What is it going to be? A game we know about, because these were the guys making the original PC Halo, I believe, in Exile, if I'm not mistaken. They have been making a lot of RPGs, and they made the last one. Was that the one I played? That was the series. It looks a little bit like a full. Now I just don't remember the name for that game. Guys, that's an RPG, really good. You have it in. You see it a little bit from up. It's not the third-person shooter. It's Jeez, I need to find out.
Is it like top down?
Yeah, top-down game, but it's really good story. Let me see if no one in the chat. I will just find that out. That is actually 2 seconds, guys. I know the game. That's a really good series. There is 3 games of them. Called the game with the Colorado. It's oh my god, Wasteland, and they make a lot of good games. What games do you guys think it's gonna be? They're gonna make for Microsoft, because it's this is something new in a way, I think. But what do you guys think?
I don't know. It's very difficult to kind of try and gauge. I think everybody's looking to try and create something new, something different, something that's not been done before. I mean, yeah, that's a really difficult one to call. It's an open-ended question.
I want to be Fallout New Vegas.
I mean, yeah.
Master Chief taken. Go, Duncan.
Yeah.
No, you go. You're speaking about this. I was going to say something completely different.
Okay, Master Chief taking on the zombies, / the dinosaurs, and the aliens.
That sounds cool. Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
It sounds like a good game.
Yeah, why not? Duncan
fell asleep.
Thoughts got out of his head.
Yes, the thoughts went out from my head. I was just going to say, what was I going to say? I think we should we're trying to keep this to about an hour.
Yeah.
yeah.
We probably want to go on to our last 2 topics. That's all.
Yeah, we were going to do that. So,
Should we do the Xbox Game Pass 7 games that have come in?
You can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got what have we? We've already got Dragon Quest Builders 2. FIFA 21 came out today. Outlast 2 came out today, and Steep came out today, and they're all. Oh no, sorry, FIFA isn't cloud as well, but the other 2 are. Then you've got Final Fantasy 10. I always get my Roman numerals messed up. It is 10, is it? Is it 10?
Yeah, 10x2.
Yeah. On the 13th of May, then Just Cause 4 and...
That's 2 games, by the way. That's Final Fantasy
Oh.
10, Final Fantasy 10 2. It's the follow-up to Final Fantasy 10.
Okay.
And Psychonauts, which apparently they've announced the second one that's going to be coming. I can't remember where I read it now. Whether it was coming in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
I might be
it looks like
making
it's
that
coming.
from
Should gonna be a couple of weeks.
I don't think there was an official launch date for it, but you can now preload it.
That was it. Yes, you can preload it, can't you? Yeah. Which suggests it's coming very, very soon, doesn't it? You can't, you're not gonna be able to preload something that's not ready.
Yeah, definitely not. You normally get to pre-order kind of, a few days to maybe a week tops out, don't you? Really? So
yeah. And there is more than 7 games, isn't there? Sorry, the two that I haven't mentioned are Remnant. Is it Remnant? I'm rubbish when it comes to saying it. Yeah, and Red Dead Online, which is coming to cloud and console, which I think leads us into the next topic.
Yep. So, guys, this next topic is will Xbox be the king of the cloud? So, who wants to start this discussion? I want to pick out Barry first this time.
I think the cloud landscape is still a very difficult place to read. I think if you look at where they are in terms of the library, and obviously as we were talking about earlier, the kind of some of the tech behind it and some of the way that it's working, it's certainly on its road to being dominant. But I think it's got a way to go for it to be king of the cloud. I don't think we've seen the last of kind of the cloud wars. I hate that term, cloud wars, but you know what I mean? I think in terms of, if you look at gaming in the cloud as a slightly separate space to console gaming or whatever, I think there's still maybe a long way to go. It certainly has got the ability to sit on that throne because it can, as we've just come off the back of touching with that content, it's the one cloud platform that has Rockstar's 2 biggest titles in the cloud. And that's somewhere that you physically have to go to, obviously Xbox services, in order to get that. So they certainly are in a prime position in some areas. They've still got work to do, but I don't know. I think there's still a lot to be said, because if you look at each of the different cloud platforms, they are going to offer you something different. And I think when you start breaking them down, that's kind of what really kind of makes it. If you're in the Xbox ecosystem, it is the king of the cloud all day long, because you've got your console, you've got your web browser, you've got your mobile. You are done and dusted. You don't have to worry about it. It's got you covered. If you are somebody who's maybe a little more open to the platforms and you like to be able to kind of experience and kind of go where some of the games are, then I think it's going to be part of your repertoire of what you play, rather than maybe a standout, out and out king of the cloud.
I see Andy wants to say something.
I will jump in. So for one, I came up with this title because I wanted to be a bit edgy on the video as a whole. So if anyone is going to start blaming Duncan, it wasn't Duncan, it was me. Just so you know. Right. And it was just a play on the fact that obviously XCloud has announced in the last month they've got Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Online, and there's other platforms that have wanted both of those games and haven't got both of those games. Now, really, let's face it, it's going to be like a Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus. You don't have to have one. You can have them all, and you can change between them. There's going to be no barriers in that way that you have to have this certain one and you have to be a fanboy of that certain one. There's nothing stopping you from being a fan of all of them. That was really what I wanted to play on from my point of view.
Yeah. Duncan, you want to say something?
Yes, we all talk. Who is going to be the big winner in Cloud? Who is going to be the one who is going to be the king of Cloud? I think I've been yapping on about this. It seems to be for about a year now. There is not going to be one king of the Cloud. It is going to be many kings of the Cloud. And this is what we're seeing with this land grab at this moment in time. And Barry's thinking that my camera's going to fall again. I think I will be honest, I think we're going to have winners, we're going to have losers, and there is one company in particular which I think is primed to maybe lose out in the short term, but maybe be a big winner in the long term in Stadia. I'm on record as that I think they're going to be much bigger as a business-to-business sort of service than people realize, and they are going to be there. Who is going to be the winners? The three big winners are going to be Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, because the cloud services will be running on their services no matter what, because they have the infrastructure. I'm going to put out two big unknowns out there, and that is going to be Tencent, which I think a lot of people will be either completely know that awful or that's fairly obvious. And the second one is Apple. I do not think you can rule Apple out from this with their big, massive infrastructure push they're going at the moment. They're spending, was it 120 billion in the US building out stuff. They're going to be doing that around the world. They're building out more data centers and things like this. They are investing because Apple, despite people's hate of them, yes, people do actually hate Apple, Kelly, and completely write them off with a load of things. And
there's a lot of Apple users, so
yeah, there is. People who buy an Apple, when they buy one thing, they buy everything.
Yeah.
It's just
We
the way
don't have everything in the house.
Yes. So that's what we need to keep an eye on going forward. But it's Microsoft in a good position. They are in an amazing position. They have, not only do they have a gaming brand, they've got the old school, they've got a back catalogue of games. They're investing in the first party. They've got the data centers on their own. I think they are going to be one of the kings of the cloud. And it is going to be great to see. Again, what I see happening is with all the consolidation going on, that is people preparing for the cloud and these cloud wars, because content is going to be king. And we see that with Netflix, we see that with Amazon Prime Video, we see that with HBO, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus now. All the big entertainment ones are having their own cloud services, and that isn't how it is going to go in the gaming market.
Great. You want to add something to this, Kelly? Who do you like to play on?
I just think Xbox is going to take over the world, even though I'm huffing with Xbox, and it's usually my favorite place to play because I'm huffing with them. I'm just not, but they are going to I think they're just going to take over the world.
Yeah, I also agree. I think Xbox is in a good position. I know that Phil also talking about maybe adding a store, so when some of these games goes out, you can buy them on a store for cloud. Like, not for you need to buy it on a console or a PC version, but you get the cloud version also. That is something I really hope will come soon when they open it up from the beta. That's going to be that. Then it's going to be huge because people are going to buy also games on cloud from Xbox. That is a really, really important thing. I think also I really enjoy playing GFN. I really do. But I just think sometimes if I have a really good, powerful game that needs a lot of power, and suddenly a couple of weeks they take it away. How am I going to play that game if it goes away? So you need, I don't know. I really enjoy GF, and it's one of the best one I played on an Xbox XCloud. That's in my opinion. I think also that the Stadia, if they had, it's long time ago since they launched, but they should have just said this is an alpha, this is beta, and just that easy, and you can play on it. It would be a total different beast in a way. Now there wouldn't be this complaining, because then you can underpromise a lot more than you can say when you're saying it's a full-fledged cloud service. So that is one of my opinions around that topic. Do I think xCloud's going to be king? I don't know. It's a little early to say, but I think if they get the cloud store in, that's a really, really good store. That's a really, really good start, I think. So I think that's very important to get in there. So people, because now we all know that we just license games anyway, if we buy them or not. But some people feels they own the game, they know it's going to be there when they play it, they can buy it and it's there forever for them. But it is something I think they need to bring in, and I think Phil knows this. And so I don't know. It's too early to say who's going to be the king, but like Duncan said, it's Luna is coming, and that is a big beast also. So I think there's going to be Luna, and I think it's going to. I'm not going to rule out PlayStation now. I'm not going to rule them out, because they have a lot of big AAA games. If they can put all these AAA games into cloud service, that's going to be big. So it is really interesting time. But xCloud from right now, it is for me my top one actually to play in, because it's easy to just jump into a game and it's there. You don't have to do anything. You just start playing. My problem is I have too many games I want to play at the same time.
Yeah.
So I go 5 minutes in this game, I go 10 minutes in that game. So it's really fun. It's really fun to play on. And you play games you wouldn't buy. So that's also fun with xCloud. And maybe that's a way to make people buy more games, because they can test them out first and then buy it if they want to when it leaves. I don't know now. So is there anything more we want to talk about before we say goodbye to the audience?
I think we're good. I think that brings us to a natural conclusion, doesn't it?
Yeah. So guys, please go and subscribe to Cloudy with a Chance of Games, and we'll see you next Thursday at the same time. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.